Yeah. Firstly, according to statistics, 1 in 5 children have encountered a mental health problem in their lives. That means that in average, a Czech classroom, for example, 30 people, at least 6 of them has, for example, depression, anxiety, or other risky behaviors that could limit their daily lives. Another thing, secondly, all these 50% of these symptoms began by the age of 14. It is another, you could say, pessimistic indicator. On the other hand, if we could adopt an early intervention in this age group, we could further have a better future for and reduce the risky behaviors of these individuals. And if you aren't finding these numbers alarming enough, 3 years before, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a surge of 30%. There was a 30% surge of emergency calls to the domestic violence in households. So this is a really serious matter. Of all things said, not everything is lost. There is a non-profit, or Angels Among Us, non-profit organization called Safe Zona, where you can go and find relevant information about the mental health issues. Their aim is to guide the lost young ones and provide them with better care. So they are partnered with at least 1,500 professionals, and they created a map called Aid Map, or Help Map in this case, where you can go and find the contact information about the professional help that you are seeking. Unfortunately, there is a flaw. It is a really great tool and interactive, but the data on this map are not updated enough. And when you encounter a situation where when you need help and you cannot contact the professional help you're seeking. And to do that, the volunteer at Safe Zona have to go and refresh the data manually. It is very tiring, and that is not their aim or not the aim of their concept, because they are doing some other stuff instead of helping other people, right? Oh, sorry, but sorry. Now more about our plans, I will hand it over to Lukáš. Thank you.
Luckily, Safe Zona has contacted us, and we have decided to do something about this problem. We have implemented an automated solution for refreshing the data or validating the data they already have. The only thing the user from Safe Zona needs to do is to take the CSV file and upload it into Mapotik, which is the tool you have seen on previous slide for an interactive map. Also, if you are a user of Safe Zona and you need to enter some new records into this database, or you need to do any modifications, you can do so via a Streamlit app we have also implemented. But now you might be asking yourselves, how does this actually work? Well, without getting too much into the weeds here, let me show you the backend as well. If we take a look on the left side of the picture, we can see that we have took the original database of contacts that Safe Zona provided us with, and we have uploaded it into Kebula, which is our orchestration tool of choice. Here, we compare the data from the original database against the data we have scraped from Mapy.cz, Google Maps, as well as the actual websites provided by the psychological care organizations. We store all of these results in a Snowflake database, and you already know the rest of the story. Users can manipulate them via a Streamlit application or upload the newly refreshed data directly into Mapotik. Well, We have brought 3 key benefits to this solution. Of course, having the data up to date or the contacts up to date is a benefit in and of itself. But we have also managed to make this solution totally cost-free. The labor was of course free, but thanks to the support from Kebula, we have also managed to keep the overall costs at 0, which is a big benefit for a non-profit organization. Also, if you would like to check all of the data manually, we have estimated that it would take 24 hours a month to check all of the records and see for yourself if they match. And that estimate is based on a naive estimate that it would only take you 1 minute for one record in the database to check it. Now we have correct and up-to-date data and information, and we have decided to make some plans for the future as well, because we were taught to dream big. We think it would be nice to modernize the interface of the SafeZonas website using a chatbot, for instance, that could direct you to the most suitable help that you need. And one more step into the future would be a mobile app that could check on your mood and anxiety and other levels daily or perhaps weekly at least. And if it would see your mental health declining, it could provide you with the help you need. That's been it. We have told you today something about SafeZona's important mission, the state as is, and the problem it is currently facing, as well as the solution and the key benefits that we have brought to the table. We hope you will take care of yourself both physically and mentally. Let me invite you, Dimitri and Tomáš, to the stage, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them now.
Hello. So thank you for the presentation. It is a noble cause for sure. So thank you for that and working with an organization such as this one. My question goes to the maintenance of the solution that you have implemented, let's say. So who is going to be responsible for that after the handover?
Well, the SafeZona is also partnered with a company that is more technical. It's called OpenBean, and they are going to take care of the maintenance of the solution. But we were trying to make the solution as little maintenance as possible, of course.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I didn't catch it properly, but so are the SafeZona places responsible for entering their own information, or is it still done by the volunteer at the organization itself?
They are currently not responsible for entering their own information. The original file we were provided with is a file from SafeZona itself, and we are working on that data set, and yeah.
And did you maybe think about, transferring this responsibility to the places themselves and how that could be done?
Yeah, we have also considered that. We have considered granting them an access to the Streamlit and therefore the database itself. But it's a step we had not taken yet because it would need some additional work we weren't able to do at the moment on the data, and for instance to make sure that some malevolent user will not manipulate the data in the database.
Mm-hmm. And I think you mentioned that you validated the data that was already provided and entered into the SafeZona, but are you validating also the data that is being entered into the application, for example, if the address is correct, etc.?
Yes, we are validating the data in the Streamlit app. If you are entering a new record, we are validating that as well. And then we, every month, we are taking the most up-to-date data set and we are validating that most up-to-date data.
Definitely commendable what you did for the NGO and how you saved their time. It's great that you picked such a project. In the presentation, it looked like it went very smooth, that you scraped the data and it was at the bottom of your pyramid. It looks like it was very smooth, but from what I know, how scrape data can look like, I can imagine there was a lot of work. So how did you do the data cleaning?
Well, we only had 7 minutes to show you the whole presentation, so we couldn't have really gotten into the faults and errors we have came across the path. But Dimitri, do you care to share a little bit more about the data cleansing we have done?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, our solution works as several Python scripts which are responsible for scraping data and preparing them for our final usage. The problem that we faced with was that we have a lot of websites which have different structure. So our task was to develop a custom scraper which would consider different architectural patterns which can be implemented in different websites. And the most important step was to prepare the emails, the telephone numbers and addresses to the form which will be the same against different sources. So for this we use some custom Python libraries which were implemented and tailored to our needs.
Thank you. But if I understand correctly, what you do then in the Streamlit app is that you show the information about the services provider, and then you provide information that were scraped, and it's up to the human user to say, okay, this needs to be updated. This is how it works.
Not at all times. There is basically 3 cases that can come into play. The first one, everything is matched, everything is perfect, sunshine and happiness. That doesn't happen. Well, that happens in like 2/3 of the records. Then there is the second one, which is that we only have one new phone number or one new email or both, and at that point we are able to refresh them automatically, because there is no other data that even a human could find. And the third possible outcome is that we have multiple telephone contacts as well as multiple email addresses. And yes, at that point, we do need a human to check on the data, but that's in the first run, it was around 100 records out of the 1,500. So it's not a significant number of manual work as it would be if all of the 1,500 data would needed to be checked.
So that's the 2 to 3 hours that you had in the presentation that is needed for maintenance. Yeah, thank you.